Hello and Happy New Year from me and Molly at Homegrown Veg. We're still in our first winter month here in the UK, so it's far too early to be sowing some of these guys, but it's not too early to have a look in your seed box and see what you've got left over from last season and whether you want to give them a go again or whether you want to throw them, sow them or throw them. There may be last year's seeds, there may be the seeds from the year before or the year before that, and you have a decision to make. But the main thrust of this video today is actually onions. I want to talk about onions, but I want to quickly give you a heads up on these seeds and then we'll move on to onions. Okay, one of the things that you won't notice about these seeds, but I know, is that they're all past their sow-by dates. Here's a clue. All these packets are open and they're all sealed with paper clips. Okay, so I've already used some of these seeds. Now let's check the sow-by dates of these seeds, and remember we've just started 2018. Okay, so we'll do the parsnips first. The sow-by date is 2016, so they're 2 years past their sow-by date. These carrots have a sow-by date of 2015. So these carrots, these flyaway F1 carrots, are 3 years past their sow-by date. Sweet corn, incredible, it's an F1, 2015, again 3 years past their sow-by date. Beetroot Cardeal, 2017, just 1 year past its sow-by date, but plenty of seeds left in that packet. What are these guys? Broad beans, Aqua de Luce. Here we go, 2017, a year past the sow-by date. That's just about a full packet. Surely we don't want to throw those away, particularly if we can make them germinate and grow. It's about a full packet. And these dwarf beans, tender green, and their sow-by date was 2013. 5 years past their sow-by date. Would you give those a go? Okay, well I'll tell you what I'm going to advise you to do. I'm going to do it myself, but I'm not going to video it this year because I videoed it last year and the year before, and those videos are on the channel. What I would advise you to do with all of those seeds that you've just seen, if you've got seeds like that, you need to do a germination trial, and it's simple, and I've done it last year and the year before, and the videos are on the channel. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a link in this video, in the text below this video, to previous germination trials. It's dead easy to do. It's at least 1 month, 2 months, 3 months before you're going to be sowing those seeds for real, so you have ample time to do this germination trial yourself. After you've watched this video, go to the link below, have a look at the germination trial and do one. You won't regret it, do one. There's nothing else you can do in the garden. It's too cold, it's too wet, it's too dark. Do a germination trial indoors, give yourself some gardening to do, and you may save yourself some money. You may find that all of those seeds, although they're past their sow-by date, will germinate. And if they will germinate, grow them later on in the year. If they won't germinate, throw them and buy some new seeds. Okay, let's get on to onions. These are 3 of my onions from last year. It's a variety called Ailsa Craig, and these guys were grown from seed. They've been in store now for over 3 months, and in a week's time these guys will have been in store 4 months. So there's the evidence that Ailsa Craig onions will store for 4 months. It's there. I've got more, but I've just brought 3 out to show you today. So they're the Ailsa Craigs. Now let me show you this. This is the seed, the Ailsa Craig seed. The packets open, these are the ones I grew last year. I'm going to grow them again this year. Let me just pop this down here. Can you see that? Can you see that seed? I'll point it out. That is an onion seed. Can you believe that one of those will make one of those? It's unbelievable, isn't it? One of those will grow into one of those. Man, that is unbelievable. It really is. Okay, so we're at that time of year now where you're starting to think about making seed purchases. I've already told you about what to do with the seeds you've already got. But if you're thinking of buying onion seeds or onion sets, there are a number of things to consider. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you what I did last year, and you might want to factor that into your decision making for this year. Okay, so if you're going to grow these guys, probably one of the first decisions you're going to make is, are you growing from seeds or are you growing from sets? And if you're growing from sets, are you growing from heat treated sets? And if you're doing none of those, are you going to buy some plants from the local garden centre, from the local nursery? It's, you know, you'll be making that decision over the next month or so, I guess. So I'm hoping this video might help you make that decision, and I'm hoping that you'll also give me some feedback from the results that you had last year, so that people that watch this video can read the comments and perhaps factor in your experiences to their choice. Okay, so I've already told you these guys were grown from seed. I've grown in 2 previous years from sets, and I've grown onions called Sturon and Stuttgarter Giant. And to be perfectly honest, I was disappointed. I was really disappointed by the number of onions that had gone to seed. So I think it's probably well accepted that onion sets are more likely to go to seed, they're more likely to bolt than onions grown from seed or grown from plants that have been grown from seed. And I think one of the clues to that is the fact that they're now selling onion sets that are heat treated. That's got to tell you there is a problem with onion sets that aren't heat treated. Why would they heat treat them? They heat treat them because onion sets are more prone to bolting than seeds, and so there are heat treated onion sets. So there's your first decision. Now the other thing you need to look at is, I know in the States we're talking long day and short day and intermediate onions. We don't have those decisions to make in the UK. But it's always nice to see what other gardeners have grown in your locality and to see what successes they've had. So a trip to your local allotments or to any other gardener growing veg, there's always some good information there to be had. If they've grown a particular variety and it's grown well, then you know it grows well in your locality and you may want to go with that variety. If they've grown a variety that's given them poor results, maybe that variety doesn't grow well in your locality, you maybe want to avoid that variety. One other thing that is a consideration when choosing a variety of onion is that at the end of the day you're hoping to harvest some of these guys, and if you get as good a return as I got last year, I can't believe this. I'm absolutely gobsmacked. All those onions came out of an area of raised bed, 4 foot by 4 foot. That was a 99 pence packet of seeds, probably half the packet sown. So for less than a Great British pound, I've grown all those onions. I'm not too sure how that would translate into Australian or American or Canadian dollars or euros, but they cost less than 1 Great British pound to produce. I bought the packet of seeds, I sowed those, planted them on, and just give them some water from time to time. Wow. Hey, come on. Okay, right. We best move on. I'm going to try and get these on the rack now before it starts to get dark. Then the next hurdle to overcome is storage, and I think I've done that quite well. And these guys, as I've said, have stored for just about 4 months. The other thing that you will need to look at is the variety availability. What varieties are available? It's okay choosing a variety, but if you can't get it, if you can't buy it, you can't grow it. So you'll need to look at what varieties are available and then make a selection. Okay. As I've already said, I grew from seeds because the sets I grew in the previous few years were a letdown. I asked other local gardeners for their advice, and I asked what varieties they grew and if they grew them from seeds or sets. I asked about onions bolting, and the variety I grew as a result of those conversations was Ailsa Craig from seeds. That's not to say you can't grow onions from sets. That's not to say you can't grow onions from sets. You definitely can grow onions from sets, and you definitely can get some good results. I've never been able to manage it. So it's onion seeds for me, and it's Ailsa Craig for me. And I'll be sowing these guys probably at the end of the month. These seeds will go in at the end of the month, and they'll be indoors for a month or two before they go outdoors to be hardened off, and then out into the raised bed. Okay, so I hope there's been some useful information in this video for you. If you've got any questions, come back with them, but what I particularly like is advice from other gardeners. I want to know how you did last year with your onions. If you can tell us, did you grow from seeds or sets or plants? Were the sets heat treated? Were the sets not heat treated? What variety did you grow? I'm particularly interested in anybody who's managed to grow some red skins. I've never ever managed to grow red skin onions. They always bolt, always go to seed on me. But I know people can do it. I know they've done it. I'll be particularly interested in a variety of red skin onion that I can grow, probably from seed, that you think I'll be able to get to the end of the growing season and get a harvest of onions. Yeah, so come back to us on that. And let's hope this new year is a good growing year for everybody that watches this channel and subscribes and comes back with information. Molly and I are just waiting for the weather to pick up, and then we'll get out on some decent walks again, hopefully. But at the moment, it's far too cold and it's far too wet, and the next 2 storms that are going to hit the UK are already predicted to strike within the next week or 2. They're already in mid-Atlantic and they're heading our way. So it's high winds, it's rain, it's cold. It's no gardening for the next month or 2, I wouldn't think. The only gardening we'll be doing is indoors. This is Homegrown Veg, signing out.